All right, y'all. We back with another video by Chev Talks. It says Flash season 8 pushed my grandmother down a flight of stairs. That's very specific, but like I'm assuming it wasn't good. But let's look, consider subscribing if you enjoyed the video. Consider subscribing if you enjoyed the video. Let's just go ahead and go hop right into it. Bear with me, y'all. It's lagging. Sorry.
What's up, fellow douche nozzles and douche nozzlets? It's that
What the fuck did I do? See, we're not watching this. Well, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and I'm playing.
time of year again, everybody. The 8th season of The Flash is over, and you know I just gotta talk about it. It's become
I never got that far into The Flash either. I think I maybe got to season 5. Maybe season 5. See?
Something of a tradition at this point, and I knew I just couldn't let you guys down. There's certainly no other reasons why I might be making this video. What are you talking about? Although I do want to...
Because it got a lot of views on the other one. I feel that.
do things a bit differently.
He's so petty for that.
This time around. I realized after last year's video that all I really ended up doing was talk about what happened in Season 7. I didn't really go into any kind of real depth because, for the most part, the stupid shit just kind of spoke for itself. I don't need to explain why a speedster lightsaber fight is dumb.
No, thank you. He doesn't need to explain that. That shit. Look, I haven't seen that. I haven't watched that episode. I didn't watch the build up to it or nothing like that. But that shit still pissed me off. Pissed me off finding out about it. I got a few drinks in my system. Sorry, y'all.
It just is, and you all know that already. If anything,
it's so stupid. Like, why is this Star Wars all of a sudden, bro? This is the Flash. I would never in my life think of something like this when I'm thinking of the Flash.
Only thing.
So why did they?
I really accomplished by last year's video was catching anyone up who hadn't watched the later seasons on what's been going on. I'd say at least 60% of my comments were just people saying something along the lines of, I stopped watching after season 4, so it's nice to see what I'm not missing.
Could you be that fine?
So it's nice to see what I'm not missing. No, I actually understand that completely because I don't want to watch this shit. I don't want to watch that shit no more. I'm not gonna lie, I watched a good amount of it. I was a bit invested. I'm not gonna lie, but we're not gonna talk about all that right now. I know, what is this singing shit?
Fuck.
Hey, shout out Dean from Supernatural. Yeah, fuck you.
And that's all fine and good. I'm glad I was able to suffer for your collective entertainment so that you don't have to, but that's not really what I'm interested in doing this year. There's a lot I could say about this season, but it would be mostly just the exact same thing as last time. I explained the dumb thing that happened, I try to make it clear that I'm not joking and that it, in fact, did actually happen, and then we move on. I just don't really feel like doing that again this year, but I should say that there are a lot of people who are saying Season 8 is some kind of return to form for the show, whatever the fuck that's supposed to mean. People have actually said that The Flash Season 8 is not only good, but apparently it's on par with the first couple episodes of the show, and that could not be any further from the case.
I'm gonna just tell you right now, they dumb as hell. That's the only explanation.
7 is still the worst one by far. This season didn't even come close to topping it in sheer awfulness, though I suspect not from a lack of trying. No, this season is not as bad as last year's, the same way being hit by a car is technically not as bad as having each limb tied to a bunch of horses and being torn apart as they run in opposite directions. But that does not mean Season 8 is any good.
No, I feel that, right. It's just like, come on now, that's still bad. It's like, come on now. I'd rather get hit by a car, but like still, I'd rather neither. How about that?
No, most people are expecting me to gush about Armageddon, the 5
I love that example, sorry. Armageddon.
5-episode crossover event that kicked off the season. People want me to talk about how it felt just like the old days of The Flash and showed so much promise for the rest of the season. The rest of the season may have been bad, but hey, at least Armageddon was good, right guys?
Wrong!
Armageddon had a story that was interesting in concept, but handled with all the grace of a semi-truck barreling through a minefield. It's a pretty stupid story, and I do feel it's worth picking apart to some extent, but I don't really want that to be the main focus of this video. As a matter of fact, the real reason I've called you all here today is to talk about one issue that, above all else, has been plaguing this show for years. Not just the general bad writing, but something that's been birthed because of it. The main problem with Armageddon is a problem that extends much further into the very core of why this show has grown so mediocre over time. And believe it or not, that reason is Eobard Thawne. Now, I faced a little bit of...
Oh, wait, because they keep bringing them back like fucking Frieza and Dragon Ball Z, nigga. If you don't just stay dead... Sorry. I didn't mean to scream in your ear. Don't leave, don't leave, don't leave. I won't scream again.
Backlash in my last video for shitting on Thawne, because obviously everybody loves him, myself
I'm just playing. If y'all heard that, I'm just playing.
included. Thawne is easily the best villain on the show because of how he's forever tied to Barry as his one true nemesis. They're linked through all of time, no matter what either of them does to rid themselves of the other. He's such a menacing villain, but at the same time, the show gives us the entire first season to really get to know him and flesh him out and his relationship with the rest of Team Flash. And there's sort of a twisted moment when you realize that it's not all a facade. He actually, to an extent, cares about the heroes in his own psychotic way. Probably the greatest scene on this entire show is when Cisco finds out that Dr. Wells is actually the Reverse Flash, and as his entire world is crashing down around him, Tom Cavanaugh is delivering one of the most chilling villain monologues I've ever heard.
The truth is, I've grown quite fond of you, and in many ways,
Copyright prevention, go bro.
you have shown me what it's like to have a son.
So what, he got to put this up on the screen to avoid copyright? I'm still a baby YouTuber, y'all, so I don't know. Is it just he got to block some of it? I'm pretty sure. That's how it was in Mad Kids video, if y'all remember seeing my reactions from that. I don't know, but... Oops. Oops.
What it's like to have a son.
We're still live.
Forgive me. But to me, you've been dead for centuries.
I have no inherent problems with Reverse Flash, despite whatever misinterpretations you guys have decided to make from my last video. But I also take some responsibility for that, because to be fair, I didn't really do a good job explaining why I hate that they keep bringing him back time and time again. Frankly, I didn't actually think I needed to. I mean, Thawne coming back as a literal ghost, trying to possess Nash Wells, and then being defeated by a riveting speech about love, or whatever the fuck. I mean, that should just be the explanation itself, right? Thawne being needlessly brought back by Barry to help take down Godspeed, engaging in a fucking lightsaber duel, and then Barry just letting him go for no apparent reason. That's just fucking stupid. I don't really know why that needs to be explained, but I guess that is my job here, so fuck? I'm gonna try. I guess I should start with the fact that I have no fucking idea how Thawne is able to still even exist after all these changes to the timeline. For those who don't remember, all the way back in Season 1, Thawne was defeated when his ancestor Eddie Thawne shot himself in the heart, erasing any of his potential future descendants from the timeline. I've been saying for years that he should have just shot himself in the no-no spot and it would have had the same exact effect, but I suppose this is a better send-off to his character than making him a eunuch. So yeah, Eddie's dead, and so Thawne gets erased from existence, theoretically, anyway. Now, obviously, there's a big problem here that the writers clearly didn't want.
Yeah, oops. Yeah, I never understood that because I don't think I got that far in the show. I don't know. But I did see something like that in... I've seen a little bit of that in these Flash videos that I be reacting to. I've seen them.
Have to figure out.
But I don't fully understand the plot. But that I mean, it doesn't even seem like it's that complicated for real. So, yeah, that's all.
But making it so that Thawne never existed kind of fucks with the continuity of the entire show. If Thawne never existed, then he never goes back in time to kill Barry's mother. Barry still becomes the Flash, albeit a bit later, and then we're back with the original timeline from before the show even started. And thus, we have a paradox. I've read a lot of interesting fan theories online explaining how Thawne is able to outsmart the timeline and continue existing, and I'll admit they're pretty good explanations, but they're just that. Theories. It's never made entirely clear on the show because honestly, either the writers don't actually know how it works themselves or they just don't know how to put it into words. Because I can think of a specific scene from Season 2 where they try to explain how Thawne still exists, but it's not really any better, it's just as confusing.
This
Is it really?
is now. This is the time Thawne comes from. This is the moment you all erased him from existence. But since Thawne is from the future, this is where his timeline begins. That's why he's still alive. Thawne has not yet traveled back in time to kill Barry's mother. He's here now in this time period for the first time. Timeline remnant.
Great.
I, don't piss me off, bro. Like, just.
I think I got it, but just in case, tell me the whole thing again. I wasn't listening.
Regardless, Thawne still exists somehow, and that's the only way the entire status quo of this show is allowed to continue.
They just want an excuse for him to exist, bro. Think of something else. Damn, I'm glad I stopped watching the show though. Fuck.
As is, so while it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, it just is what it is, I guess. I would have liked if it had been explained better, but I guess we just have to accept it as is. Then he
just like everything else, like when Barry stops to talk. Yeah, I can't wait to. What more do we have to accept? I'm wondering. Sorry.
Was the main antagonist.
I'm getting frustrated with this. I apologize.
Antagonist on Legends of Tomorrow during my favorite season of that show, and then he was erased from existence again, but I guess that didn't stick either. And despite the fact that I enjoyed his role in Legends, I can't deny that it's not really explained there either. And then he just keeps showing up over and over again and just fucking shit up, and we're all just supposed to accept it. First of all, I really don't
we're all just supposed to accept it.
Get why he doesn't just travel back to the future now. This version of Thawne was created after Flashpoint and ended up replacing the original version that killed Barry's mother, so it would stand to reason that this version of Thawne would take the place of this version, who lost his ability to time travel and was therefore stranded in the 21st century for 15 long years. Otherwise, we're back with the issue of, well, I guess the events of Season 1 just didn't even happen, and that fucks with everything. But right after finishing the job of killing Nora, he runs Barry back to his time period and then goes around to fuck with the Legends and ends up getting erased by Black Flash. So, when exactly does this guy end up doing all the shit from Flash Season 1? And why would he even need to, since he clearly still has the ability to time travel? Well, these shows have actually provided us an explanation as it happens. Apparently,
I wonder what the explanation is. Ooh, let's find out, y'all. On next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Watch this so I don't have all the details. This version of Thawne showed up in the latest and final season of Legends of Tomorrow and ended up dying. Then he somehow ended up in 2022 to be this new version of Eobard Thawne without his speed or memories, which we're gonna get to. Season 8 of this show is now trying to tell us that these two versions of Eobard Thawne are, and have always been, different people entirely. Which makes absolutely zero sense, because again, we saw the original Thawne disappear. He was erased from existence so that this version could exist and take his place as the Season 1 antagonist. But he doesn't do that, so I guess the driving force of conflict for the Flash Season 1, who created all metahumans including Barry, just does not exist anymore. If you'll remember, Thawne's whole reason for initially traveling back to the year 2000 was not to kill Nora Allen, but to kill Barry. He wanted to kill him before he could ever become the Flash, and when that was denied him by future Barry, he settled for the next best thing, killing his mother. As he puts it, it's an event so tragic that Barry would never become the Flash, and in a twist of poetic irony, this causes him to lose his speed, which forces him to ultimately create the Flash in order to get back to his own time. But if Thawne can kill Nora and then just zoom off to whichever time period he wants...
Wait, I think... Hold on.
It's an event so tragic that Barry would never become the Flash, and in a twist of poetic irony, this causes him to lose his speed, which forces him to ultimately create the Flash in order to get back to his own time. But if Thawne can kill Nora and then just zoom off to whichever time period he wants, then Barry simply never becomes the Flash. Nora's death still happened, which prevents him from eventually becoming the Flash, and there's no Thawne to push him in the right direction. And another big issue I have with this character is that in the later seasons, he's oversaturated as hell. Thawne is just kind of there because, well, he can be. So they just keep bringing him into the fold. He fucks with Barry for a while, and then Barry beats him up again and again, and he just keeps getting away for no reason at all. I said in my last video,
even though that part was stupid, because I haven't seen this part, because I know I haven't gotten this far in the show, but I've seen clips of it from this dude that we're reacting to, Chev Talks and Mavakit. Yeah. Why the fuck did he even let him run away? He literally lets Thawne run away. And y'all see how slow Thawne is compared to Barry in this scene. Even Thawne looking at him like, what? Look at him right now. Look at him right now. This nigga, what? Impossible. Like, he got, like, there's no reason he shouldn't have won right here.
again
got
and
his
again,
ass.
and he just keeps getting away for no reason at all. I said in my
Right.
last video that every time he comes back, he gets progressively less cool, and this is what I meant by that. Because in Season 1, he was the real deal. And what I love is that no matter how much faster or better trained Barry got, he still wasn't powerful enough to beat him in a physical fight by the end. Eddie had to kill himself because Barry wouldn't have been capable of beating him otherwise. A villain who's more powerful than the main protagonist makes for pretty high stakes because you know that when push comes to shove, the hero might not be able to just yada yada his way to the finish line by running fast. Seeing Barry at the end of Season 7 being so much faster than Thawne would actually have been a pretty cool moment if the moment weren't undermined by the fact that its mere existence is stupid. The stupid-ass lightsaber fight and the fact that Barry just let him go for no reason at all after
No, right. Like, what the fuck?
the stupid-ass lightsaber fight and the fact that Barry just let him go for no reason at all after bringing him back for no reason at all. But seeing how
Like, that's, don't piss me off. Don't piss me up. We're gonna find out who wrote this shit, and we're gonna jump them. We're gonna fucking
far
jump
Barry
them.
has come with his abilities compared to Season 1 by having him go up against someone who used to be such a big threat is a great moment
Why I
for
oughta.
Barry. But it does run the risk of making Thawne feel like much less of a threat, and since the showrunners want to continually bring him back unnecessarily, I'm not sure that was the right call.
Keep bringing them back like Frieza. Frieza from Dragon Ball Z. Why? Why do you do that? Just, it's all good. I'm glad I stopped watching this stupid ass fucking show.
Oh, and by the way, the main reason why the story of Armageddon falls apart is because the entire reason it was able to happen at all is because Barry just stood there and watched as Thawne ran off. I brought it
Oh
up
my god. Like, don't remind me. Don't remind me.
in my last video, and now I get to say
Don't.
it. I was fucking right. Barry let him
Please.
go after we just saw how much faster he was
Oh my god, don't remind me, please. It's gonna piss me the fuck off. It's gonna piss me off.
than Thawne, and now he's
It's
gone
gonna
and
piss
fucked
me
with the
off.
timeline again. Thanks
Oh
a
my
lot,
God.
Barry.
Dad, Don's still out there.
Yeah, and he'll be back someday, but that's future us's problem.
Oh, and let's not forget that this was after Barry
That's literally how I feel. Right, that's literally how I feel.
Oh,
Like,
and let's
just,
not forget that this was after Barry resurrected him from actual death to help him fight against Godspeed, rather than just have any of the 5 other speedsters available to fight with him. Speedsters
Right.
that are actually on his side and didn't murder his mother. I stand by what I
Right.
said. I believe the only reason he brought Thawne back was because he wanted someone who was willing to take the moral low road and try to kill Godspeed, and he didn't want it to be himself or any of his friends. That's the only possible explanation I can think of, and it's really fucked up. By the way, side note,
That's, oh my god. Just, I'm not even gonna, no. The only possible explanation? No. Just no.
I feel like people always forget this, but Barry's whole no-killing rule came completely out of nowhere back in, like, Season 3. This was never a thing beforehand, and in fact, we've seen him straight up kill his opponents in earlier seasons without any sense of remorse. I mean, I don't know what else he thought was gonna happen by throwing a bolt of lightning at a guy made entirely of sand, other than that he would turn into glass and shatter into a million pieces.
Right.
As a matter of fact, wouldn't throwing lightning at pretty much anybody fucking kill them? Well,
No, I mean, he got a point. Just, yeah, but like, we're talking about like niggas with powers and shit. Just no, okay. You got us there.
it should
You got me there.
anyway. Anyway, the basic premise of
Just
into a million pieces. As a matter of fact, wouldn't throwing lightning at pretty much anybody fucking kill them? Well, it should anyway. Anyway, the basic premise of Armageddon is that a freaky alien dude named Despero comes to kill Barry because apparently, in the year 2031, he's gonna run so fast that he destroys the entire world. Instead of just defeating Despero in any number of ways, Barry's just like, "The Flash is a strong figure to the Americas! He would never do such a thing!" And is basically walking on eggshells trying to be on his best behavior while his entire life falls apart around him. And this all comes to a head when he finds out that Joe is dead and apparently has been for 6 months. This makes him go completely off the
Damn.
rails, and he asks Black Lightning to take away his powers when he sees on the news that he apparently attacked a bunch of people but doesn't even remember it. Before Black Lightning can completely drain Barry of all his powers, Despero attacks, and Barry runs to the future to see the supposed Armageddon for himself, which is where he finds that everything has changed. He runs into a function being put on by Iris and sees that she is going to get married to none other than Eobard fucking Thawne.
Why the fuck? Is that true, y'all? Is he lying? Chev, you better not be lying, bro.
Going to get married to none
What is this? Just like a Flashpoint? It's like Flashpoint, but just a different version of it?
other than Eobard fucking Thawne.
Don't piss me off. Don't piss me.
Thawne created what he so hilariously refers to as a reverse flashpoint, wherein he went back to the year 2013, caused himself to get struck by the lightning bolt and become the Flash, and then basically stole Barry's entire life, including marrying Iris, which... Dude, how old are you? And I know that questioning the time travel logic
Nigga said, how old are you?
on the Flash is like asking a toddler to elaborate on his findings in the fields of quantum mechanics, but this whole reverse flashpoint thing we got going on here makes literally no sense. First of all, in this new reality that's been created, Barry is basically the reverse Flash, and all the members of Team Flash know him as the enemy, but why? Just because Thawne orchestrated events so that he was the one struck by lightning, why did Barry in this timeline just decide to be evil? Well, that doesn't even matter, actually, because Thawne also explains that he erased Barry from the timeline by finally succeeding in killing him as a child. And so now it's only a matter of time before Barry ceases to exist at all. Actually, it's set to happen right at the stroke of midnight, which is weirdly arbitrary. I didn't realize the forces of time and space used our time-telling system, but how about that? Regardless, that also doesn't explain why Barry became the Reverse Flash.
You know that was just for plot purposes. And yeah, it doesn't explain why Barry became the Reverse Flash, exactly.
Telling system, but how about that? Regardless, that also doesn't explain why Barry became the Reverse Flash. That only makes it more confusing, if anything. The dude died at 11 years old, but apparently went on to terrorize these people's lives for the next 31 years, and some of you might be telling me right now that I'm misunderstanding, because the show actually explains that Barry didn't do any of the things Team Flash thinks he did. That was all Thawne framing him. Except, that doesn't make any sense either. To be more specific, the exact thing the show says is this.
You wore my face. It was you that attacked the city that day. That's why they don't trust me.
He also says that he killed Joe and sabotaged the rest of Barry's life, but the timeline doesn't exist.
Wait, what the fuck?
That he killed Joe and sabotaged the rest of
Oh my god! This was in the show?
Barry's life.
Oh my god! Damn, like I mean it wasn't like blood splattered everywhere, but damn, nigga. Not my nigga Joe. Oh my god. I didn't get this far in the show, y'all. I didn't get this far in the show.
Life, but that timeline doesn't exist. That 2021 that Barry just came from does not lead into the 2031 they're standing in now.
That really don't make sense though.
In the main timeline, Barry is the Flash, and the public recognizes him as such. Thawne only ended up making the Flash look bad, which is himself. See, this is really hard to even try to pick apart, because none of it makes...
Yeah, that's so weird. But you know, the writers of this show are fucking retarded. Just remember that.
Any sense at even a base level. Like, seriously, a 7-year-old would have a better understanding of how time travel works. And as we see by the end, the 2031 in which Despero watches the world be destroyed by the Flash is this timeline, which has absolutely no bearing whatsoever on this timeline. So there literally is no premise. Not only was this plot created out of Barry's own stupidity and having failed to apprehend Thawne last season, but it's contingent on time travel rules that make even less sense than is normal for this show. That's what we're dealing with. And people say this is a return to form? Look, I already went over how the time travel in this show has never really made all that much sense. I mean, the fact that season 1 of this series shouldn't have even been possible is kind of a hilarious way to start off your story. And the first 2 seasons are the ones that I actually like, but even still, this is really stretching it. Even with something like Savitar, I was like, fine, I guess that works.
No, same, bruh. Same. Like again, I'm not a fucking expert. I wasn't sitting here dissecting the show like these niggas do, like Chef Talks and Mavakid, and just you know what I'm saying? Like if y'all see my reactions, even I was sitting there like, what? A Tom remnant became evil, and he, oh my god! Like I'm not even gonna try to. It's gonna piss me off trying to just. No, I just agree. I can relate. I agree and I relate.
Even with something like Savitar, I was like, fine, I guess that works.
I
Whatever.
fucking guess,
I
nigga.
literally can't even do that with this. I don't know how to explain that the thing is broken because I'm not even sure if I know what the show is trying to tell me is the case. Barry eventually teams up with Damien Dark, who in this reality owns the Time Stone, another stable from the glory days of Legends. With it, he's able to convince Dark to be a good guy and help him reverse Thawne's effects on the timeline by showing him memories of Damien sacrificing himself to save his daughter. At a certain point, they realize that Barry will have to reach Mach 20 in order to punch a hole in the time stream, a feat which can't be done without causing serious damage to the Earth's tectonic plates, thereby unintentionally creating the very Armageddon that Barry has been trying to prevent. So a couple things. First of all, and maybe I missed something, but is there a reason why Barry suddenly has to run at Mach 20 to access the time stream when that was never a thing before? He's been able to travel through time.
Nope, just because they probably forgot or they just don't care and just feel like changing it. Because, like I said, the writers be retarded in GTA. I don't know if that helps. The videos. Yeah, it's okay.
With little difficulty
I might still get in trouble for saying that. It's too late. It's all good.
whatsoever every other time he's tried to do it since like season 2. He states he'll need 40,000 miles worth of runway to reach that kind of speed, and this is a thing that is literally invented out of nowhere to create stakes. He's never needed 40,000 miles of build up to time travel before. What the fuck? This is such bizarre writing. I don't
Right, I've never ever seen that.
understand. But I'm also not really sure what the plan is anyway. You're gonna travel back in time and then what? Now, I think the logical thing to do would be for Barry to go back and reverse the timeline changes that Thawne made. So, like, you would go back to 2000 to stop Thawne from killing your younger self, then to 2013 to stop Thawne from becoming the Flash, and then I guess go to 2021 and stop Joe from dying. I'm still really not clear on how that works, but the point is, undo the changes Thawne made, undo the reverse Flashpoint. Simple enough, I suppose. Except he doesn't even do that. He travels through time and returns to 2021, where Despero is torturing Cecile and has apparently killed the rest of Team Flash, but when Barry arrives, some science-y energy sweeps the room and then the timeline is just fixed. I don't even know what to say here. Again, there's no real way to dissect why
Wait, what the fuck? But
torturing Cecile and has apparently killed the rest of Team Flash, but when Barry arrives, some science-y energy sweeps the room and then the timeline is just
so when Barry arrives, okay.
fixed. I don't even know what to say here. Again, there's no real way to dissect why it's stupid because I literally have no idea what the show is telling me just happened. But anyway, yeah, problem solved, I guess.
It doesn't really seem like there's any reason for that. It just kind of happened. Like the show didn't say why it happened. It just happened. I don't know.
Ran back in time and put everything back to the way they were supposed to be somehow. Oh, and the reason he was able to make it to Mach 20 and access the time stream without destroying the entire world is because of his connection to Iris. Yeah, we're still doing the whole power of love thing with them. And it's pretty funny here because in this timeline,
First off, fuck Iris, but we're not going to talk about that right now.
Thawne is created, he and Iris are about to get married, and yet he acts like the reverse Flash around her. He doesn't even bother to try to hide it.
Shoot him. What are you waiting for? Shoot him! Enough.
Like, bro, what the fuck did you think was gonna happen? Wait a minute, how come Cecile doesn't sense any malice coming from Thawne?
I was wondering that too, actually. Because what the fuck? Unless she, I was just...
He's pretending to be a good person, but surely Cecile would be able to detect that there's not a hint of love within him for any of these characters, including Iris, his own fiancée. I bring this up specifically because this season really made an effort to highlight Cecile's empath abilities every single chance it got, to a distracting degree.
Barry.
Oh, okay. So it's just like, okay, what the fuck her abilities now? Why the fuck y'all, you feel me? See, and that should be pissing me that's part of why it pisses me the fuck off. Y'all shoving that shit down our throat. And granted, I didn't even watch this part. I'm just saying, based off what he said, you shoving it down our fucking throats. Just oh my god, I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna make myself even more mad. This
Look,
damn
from the second I
show.
walked into Star Labs,
We're gonna jump whoever made this show.
I could feel how worried you are. I'm sensing a massive amount of grief inside of you. It's enough for an entire family.
Sorry, I blew it.
How do you know? What? It's enough for an entire family, but you couldn't sense Eobard Thawne's malicious intent in the slightest way, shape, or form. You didn't have none of that, is what you're telling me. See, yeah, that shit don't make no sense.
This seems to be my thing today.
Hey, what's going on, Chester? I'm sensing a whole lot of sadness.
So that's how episode 4 out of 5
Oh my god, yeah. See, I'm sensing a whole lot of sadness. What's going on? Like, first off, I could tell he was sad just based off of the. You're not. Alright.
ends, but just like with Crisis on Infinite Earths, we gotta make it into 5 parts for some fucking reason, so we gotta manufacture some more conflict. Again, we just watched the timeline get reset arbitrarily, but actually not quite. Damien Dark is here now, waiting for the timeline changes to reach him, and he's not the only one who's back. Now, try not to be too surprised, but it's Thawne.
Oh my.
It's Eobard. He's back. He's back. Like, I know you never would have guessed, but he's back. It's the now the premise in this episode is actually one that I found interesting, even if it's just as poorly executed as the rest. So, for whatever reason, Barry restoring the timeline to its rightful state caused Thawne to get Marty McFly'd. I'm not going to pretend to understand why. Thawne should have been erased from existence 20 times over by this point. But now, for reasons that I don't even know how to explain, he's being erased once again. And this time, it'll be permanent, I'm sure. And so, Thawne goes to the CCPD to bait Barry into a fight, only to then shock everybody by publicly asking the Flash to save his life, believing that if he does it in front of everybody, Barry won't possibly be able to refuse. And now we have the crux of our dilemma, ladies and gentlemen. Assuming they can find a way to save Thawne, and you know they will because bullshit science has an answer for everything on this show, the question then becomes, should they save Thawne? Now, of course, there wasn't a second of doubt in my mind that the ultimate result would be them saving Thawne, and spoiler alert, that's exactly what happens, and it's dumb as fuck. But I will say, I really like that even Barry, the oh-so-righteous paragon of love, who never kills, except for when he does, actually wants to let Thawne
Alright.
die. And so does Iris.
It just caught me off guard.
And so does Caitlin, and we even get a really great scene between her and Thawne where she basically tells him to go fuck himself. It's pretty good stuff. But, isn't there someone you forgot to add?
What the fuck? I consent. The myth of consensual sex. Isn't there somebody you forgot to ask? Oh.
As Barry and Iris are explaining to Allegra and Chester that they need to let Thawne die, it's none other than Joe West who gets mad at them and tells them that no matter what, they have to save everybody, even Thawne.
If you let Thawne die, you don't have to worry about him destroying our family.
Joe, my dude, my guy.
Are you serious? There's no way. No. It's like they just keep finding a way to piss us off. If they doing it on purpose. They find no.
But they have
why the fuck would Joe give a fuck?
To save everybody, even Thawne.
If you let Thawne die, you don't have to worry about him destroying our family.
Are you fucking serious, bitch? You don't give a fuck. Bro, these writers, like, I want to lay hands on them.
Joe, my dude, my guy, my brother in Christ Almighty, this is Eobard motherfucking Thawne that we're talking about. Not only has he committed atrocities
that's what I'm saying,
untold, but he has already been dead before, and Barry stupidly brought him back to help fight Godspeed, and he's been erased countless times by the timeline already. Please just let him die, for fuck's sake.
Right, like, stop trying to... I hate when writers, because it's not just the Flash, but I hate when writers try to make a character care about some shit all of a sudden that they never cared about. I didn't mean to scream in y'all ear. it's kind of pissing me off.
How did they manage to ruin Joe? Joe!
He's our Joe.
Fuck. Remember when Eddie fucking died to bring about this outcome? Remember when that sacrifice ended up being in vain? Now you have the chance to rectify this, and it's goddamn Joe West, of all people, telling them not to. I can't even fucking believe what I'm watching right now. You know what? Cutting to the end of
I can't fucking believe what I'm hearing, bro.
the season just a bit, there's a part where
That's all I know.
Barry
I don't want to
accidentally
believe it.
kills Iris, and as a
I don't want to accept it. And Barry accidentally kills Iris. Wait, what the fuck?
result, it's what the villains needed to happen to resurrect Thawne again. He dies between now and then, which means absolutely nothing anymore. As a matter of fact, Iris's death immediately is undone thanks once again to the power of love between her and Barry. But just imagine you're Joe West. Imagine your own daughter just died for the sake of resurrecting Thawne, the very man who wouldn't even exist anymore in any capacity had you not told her and Barry to save him because it's the right thing to do. I'm not saying I hate Joe, but after this atrocity of a character assassination, I actually wish Iris's death had been permanent so that he was forced to deal with the fact that she's dead and it's his fault. Fuck you, Joe. I really hope you guys are starting to understand why I fucking hate Eobard Thawne. He hasn't been a cool or interesting
Right, like he's starting to sound like Frieza, bro. Like, damn, just kill this nigga.
villain in years. Speaking of which, this episode actually also gives us a piece of information that we somehow managed to go all the way until season 8 without finding out. Barry asks Thawne to explain just why exactly he hates the Flash so much, and we finally get an explanation on his villain origin story, if you can fucking call it that. Basically, he created his speed, and he was gonna go off and be a superhero, but then, one day, he was going to go save a bunch of people, and then the Flash got there first and saved everyone, reaping all the glory. And from then on, Thawne dedicated the rest of his life to becoming faster so he could be the bane of Barry's existence. And man, that's just the lamest fucking origin story you could have possibly gone with. Like what?
No, is that really it? Is that who I want to fight the writers. Like I know black men being violent, but I want to fight the writers, bro. Why would you write? Is this on purpose? Is this on purpose, bro? Oh my god.
When I watched this scene, something finally clicked in my brain. I finally realized one of the biggest reasons why this character is just not nearly as interesting anymore. Not only should he just already...
It's like Frieza from Dragon Ball Z, bro. Like my brain is just gonna explode.
be dead
It's only a matter of time.
1,000 times over at this point, but we've already seen this version of Thawne be defeated. And now he just kind of keeps showing up with no clear direction, and it's honestly kind of sad. I see now that what would have been infinitely more interesting would be for the Reverse Flash to keep popping up every now and then as a recurring villain throughout the series, but it should have been the younger, pre-Season 1 Thawne. We got a tiny glimpse of that in Season 2, in an episode I really do like, but that's all we get. The potential here was boundless and yet utterly wasted. We could have been exploring a young Thawne who was just starting out, learning how to travel through time, encountering the Flash but not knowing who he is just yet, developing his intense hatred for him over time until he finally figures out his identity and decides to go back in time to kill him. What if at first he's not really evil, just misguided, and we watch Barry try to guide him in the right direction into becoming good. And we get this really cool role reversal where now Barry is the mentor teaching Thawne all the same tricks that Thawne taught him, until eventually something happens that drives an irreversible rift between them. Then maybe in the series finale of the show, we watch as he discovers Barry's identity and travels back in time to kill him, only for Barry to follow him, and bam, we get this scene all over again, only this time, it's from the perspective of older Barry, who's far more experienced and wise. He stops briefly to warn his past self not to attempt to save their mother, and then grabs Kid Barry and gets him out of there, understanding finally that this is what he was always meant to do. And he knows that when he goes back into that house, Thawne will be gone, and Nora will be dead. Then he runs back to the future, and the series could end with him informing the rest of Team Flash that Thawne is finally gone and they've seen the last of him. Imagine how much better that would have been. I mean, even after all that, it's still pretty far from perfect.
Damn, is that not what happened? It sounds like it. It sounds like, damn, bro, gonna piss me off.
story. Like, my ideas still have serious amounts of issues regarding how time travel operates. But those concepts are fundamentally broken in this show, and the only way to really fix those would be to completely pull up all the roots and lay down new soil. I'm going for more of a happy middle ground, I suppose. Anyway, thanks to Joe, Barry and Iris both agree that Thawne needs to be saved, and even manage to convince Caitlin. And like I said earlier, bullshit science fixes everything. As it turns out, Barry already knows exactly how to save him. All he needed was that good old push in the right direction. He says that Thawne can be saved from being erased from the timeline by taking away his speed. Huh? How does that work? I guess it would be easier to understand how this is a solution if I knew exactly what the problem was, but I'm still not entirely sure why Thawne is being erased from the timeline. And without a clear understanding of the causation, I have no idea why taking away his speed would somehow work. Like, let's just be real generous and accept that it makes perfect sense why Barry reversing the reverse flashpoint caused Thawne to be erased from existence. What does that have to do with his speed? Am I missing something? The answer is yes, I am missing something. We all are. This entire arc has been so confusing and hard to break down because the show doesn't bother to tell us why anything is happening the way that it is. They're just like, yeah.
See, and that's nothing new. It just be random shit happening. I mean, like, sometimes they explain some shit, but sometimes they don't. But regardless, hey, look, listen. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'm just going to rewind it like 30 seconds because I got to grab something real quick. Just real quick. But I'll be right back. I know y'all attention spans are cooked, but it'll be so fast. I promise. All right, go.
Race from the timeline. And without a clear understanding of the causation, I have no idea why taking away his speed would somehow work. Like, let's just be real generous and accept that it makes perfect sense why Barry reversing the reverse flashpoint caused Thawne to be erased from existence. What does that have to do with his speed? Am I missing something? The answer is yes, I am missing something. We all are. This entire arc has been so confusing and hard to break down because the show doesn't bother to tell us why anything is happening the way that it is. They're just like, yeah, this is happening now, and this is how to fix it. And we, the audience, are just kind of sitting there like, okay, I guess. But I guess this is just how it works, and Barry knows this.
Okay, my fault. All right.
The show doesn't bother to tell us why anything is happening
the
way that it is.
Y'all be all right.
Like, yeah, this is happening now, and this is how to fix it. And we, the audience, are just kind of sitting there like, okay, I guess. But I guess this is just how it works, and Barry knows this because. Also, I know it's expecting a lot to assume that the writers have seen the second season, but I find it hilarious that there are two different instances this season where they need to remove someone's speed powers, and they never once think to use the syringe that Harry used to transfer Barry's speed to Zoom. Like, they couldn't just be fucking bothered, I guess. Instead, Barry just kinda extracts it from him. That's just a power he has now. I will be fair, though. In season...
No, for real, y'all don't even see him develop it or practice with it. He just kind of does it, but all right.
5, they did actually mention the syringe, as they intended to use it to create a device that could depower Cicada's dagger. See guys, I pay attention. I do some more than the writers, even. For some inexplicable reason, they didn't just have it lying around somewhere, so they had to travel back in time to retrieve it from the moment immediately after Zoom took Barry's speed. And after being chased by Zoom, it ended up being destroyed, and they had to get it fixed by Thawne. This scene establishes that the tech is so advanced that not even Cisco would be able to figure it out. Only Earth 2 Wells or Thawne, because Thawne is super smart.
Cisco can't even fix this. This is Wells' tech.
Well, let's go back to Wells.
It's not really clear if the syringe stopped being usable after it was used to depower Cicada, but I guess we're assuming it no longer works. However, the episode established that Thawne is capable of fixing it, the very same man they're trying to save. I would assume, being that he's selfish and will do anything to save his own life, that Thawne would be on board with helping them fix the device, but actually, for some reason, Thawne doesn't like the plan to take away his speed. As he puts it, his speed is his life, and so by taking his speed, Barry has successfully taken his life. This would have made the whole episode a shit ton more interesting than what we ended up with, though. What we actually got was Barry fighting against Despero, who
Wait, that's not what... Wait. Okay, this nigga, bro.
Barry has successfully taken his life. This would have made the whole episode a shit ton more interesting than what we ended up with, though. What we actually got was Barry fighting against Despero, who really wants them to kill Thawne because he's the only smart character on the show, and he's really fucking fed up with Team Flash's bullshit. Honestly, I'm pretty sure Despero is just the writers trying to parodize me specifically, which explains why he's the only one thinking logically. Either way, it would have been much more interesting if it turned out that Thawne is the only person who can save save himself, but in doing so, he'd have to give up his speed. You have the rest of Team Flash hoping he'll just decide to die, and then you don't even have to have them
See, that would have been better because I thought he was telling the truth about that. I didn't know he was lying. Bruh.
betray their precious morals that you're also fucking proud of. Leave the decision to Thawne, force him to decide if he'll create the device that allows them to take away his speed, rather than just inventing a power for Barry. So yeah, Thawne's life is
And he said morals that you're so fucking proud of. Nah, you can tell. No, because they're so inconsistent with their morals. Like no killing, no killing. But then they kill. And it's just like, okay, whatever. But and then Joe, because I didn't see it, like the actual episode, but what he was explaining and showing earlier, if y'all saw it, Joe talking about if you kill him and take his life away, you don't gotta worry about him ruining the family. Like what? Shut your bitch ass up. Shut your bitch ass up. That's all I can say.
just in the nick of time, and he no longer has his speed, and then he gets shipped off to Oliver's island prison on Lian Yu, where he'll spend the rest of his days in a cell. He doesn't start to become plot relevant again until toward the end of the season, and since this video is mainly meant to talk about Thawne, I'm gonna skip over most of this bullshit. However, I would be remiss if I didn't point out a few things. First of all, this entire season is obsessed with the words leveled up, and they say it about 1,000 fucking times.
Wow. You have seriously leveled up.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Hey, what up, Laced and Gold?
Flush Gang just leveled up too.
Wait, these are all from the first 2 episodes of season 8. How you doing, Laced and Gold? You said just in a nigga time. What the fuck?
Obsessed with the words leveled up, and they say it about 1,000 fucking times.
Wow. You have seriously leveled up.
How you doing, Lace?
Looks like the Royal Flush Gang just leveled up too.
I know that it's scary, but think how you leveled up as a meta.
Leveled up.
Bear, what if you just leveled up too much too fast?
What if something does happen to someone I love because of my leveled up speed?
You see, your power has recently accelerated.
If you cut out all the times where those words are spoken as well,
Why do they keep saying it though? Damn.
as all the times
Why they say it so many times? The fuck?
Cecile mentions her empath powers during scenes where the emotions of characters are clearly evident.
I can feel all of the anger inside you. I can. And I know that you've been to hell and back today, but we need to think our next move through.
She killed Iris!
You could probably shave off 3 or 4 episodes of the entire season and you'd lose nothing. Also, they started using this, like, blue smoke stuff that teleports characters into whatever fight scene that's going on, and I have no idea where that came from. I don't remember that ever being a thing beforehand. And speaking of things that are invented out of
Yeah, I'm not sure what that's about. I didn't see the
nowhere,
episode. I didn't see the episode, but still.
They have this weird will they won't they going on between Chester and Allegra that started up out of nowhere. It was initially invented during Armageddon, and we spent an agonizing amount of time focusing on the relationship of 2 versions of these characters who will immediately be erased from existence once Barry undoes Thawne's work, making it all feel extremely pointless.
Okay, love is just a chemical flood of dopamine and oxytocin, giving people an addictive dependence like a bad drug.
But then throughout the season, it starts to blossom a little.
Okay, what the fuck? That nigga. Alright. I got at least a few things to say. You said a shot. Oh, wait, don't take a shot yet. Don't take a shot yet, Laced. Hold on. Wait till we done with this. You said I'm straight, just trading and scrolling. Oh, okay. Hey, wait on me. Cause I'm already drunk. I'm trying to pace myself. You feel me?
Bit, and there's
how many shots in are you?
Even an actual good scene where Cecile realizes they both have feelings for each other, and it's great because she doesn't actually say anything. Normally, when a character is frustrated or angry or sad or feeling whatever emotion, it'll be pretty evident in the way they're acting, and then for some reason, Cecile just feels the need to say it anyway. It's like the writers don't try.
No, literally. I was saying that earlier. Y'all remember? When, what's her name? When Cecile, she was just like, I can tell you're really sad. I sense a lot of sadness coming from you. Tell me what's going on. And then I immediately reacted with, okay, I could have told you he was sad, but okay. No, like what's the point of doing that? Like they really want you to know that she is an empath. or something. Like, what the fuck? Okay, we get it, bro. Like, we get it, bro.
Trust the audience to just deduce it for themselves, but in this one single scene, they use a neat little writing trick called subtlety, and I honestly couldn't be prouder. It's kind of annoying
Subtlety. No, for real,
that
for
this
real.
never actually gets resolved, though. Like, by the end of the season, Chester and Allegra are still just friends, and they don't realize the other likes them yet. It's a thing they spend a lot of time on, and it is yet to actually go anywhere, so you as the audience member are sitting there in frustration waiting for the thing to just happen already, because you know it will. Although I guess, who knows, I can just imagine.
Yeah, based off what I'm hearing, I think I've seen some of that shit in the Arrow before. Y'all know the Green Arrow, but the live action CW version. Just, oh my god, I hate when shows do shit like this. Like, oh my god, we know they about to die. Like, why do you want us to be so attached to these characters? We don't give a fuck about them. You're just dragging it. Like, damn, you make me want to rate this 1 star on Yelp. Well, you can't do that on Yelp. That's for restaurants, I think. But you get my point. Like, damn, bro. Like if I'm liking, like, oh my god, I be liking some of the shit in the shows, but then they ruin it with stupid shit like this, bro. Like, oh my god, I don't care about these characters. I can already like, I haven't watched this part of the show, but I can literally imagine how the fuck this part was. I can, like, I have the foresight. Like, I don't have to watch it. I know what it was like, bro. That shit was stupid. I know it was.
And they continue to
I
have
know
this
it
little
was.
back and forth throughout the rest of the show, and then they just never develop it any further than that. You wouldn't expect that from competent writers, but you would from whoever the fuck they got working on this show. Oh,
Hey, what's up, Ray? It wasn't letting me change my category. Ray, you trying to change it for me? Oh, well, no, you're not mod. I know, Ray. It was supposed to. Look, I was trying to change it, but we gonna look. I'm gonna play Minecraft later anyway. We gonna see. But how you doing though, Ray? Welcome in. Welcome in.
and speaking of the writers, expect that from competent writers, but you would from whoever the fuck they got working on this show. Oh, and speaking of the writers not trusting their audience, this season uses an excessive amount of flashbacks. I don't think there's a single episode this season where they don't reference some past
Ray, fried chicken or fried fish?
occurrence and then immediately flash back to that event just in case it wasn't clear. And it's weird because assuming you're an audience member who hasn't seen every episode of this show or you don't remember every single detail, it should be understood that that's a you problem. You lack the information necessary to understand what's been referenced despite the fact that the show has previously given it to you. Most other shows understand this so they don't waste their time on shit like this. If they reference a past event, it's with the understanding that their audience remembers it, and if they don't, that's their fault. And
exactly.
If I'm someone who doesn't have all the necessary information, then when a show references a past event that I'm not aware of, I just go, oh, okay, I don't remember this, but they're speaking about it as though it's been established, so I'll go with it. Hey, you know that thing that happened?
Right. See, that makes sense. Well, you said W me being mid for a week of VR. What? My chicken? Okay, bet. Chicken, dead ass. I love fish though. I gotta get my fish fix every now and then.
Happen in the past? No, not really, but that's because I probably haven't seen that episode. Cool, well, it happened. Alright, sweet, let's see how that ends up being. Want to see a flashback that proves that it happened? No, not really, thanks. I believe you. Great! Like, thanks guys, I really didn't need you to tell me about Ronnie's death and then immediately show it. I've seen season 2. Let's
No, that shit is annoying.
see, is there anything else
Naruto did that shit all the fucking time. Ooh.
that happened?
Ooh.
Oh yeah, Frost died!
We know.
And then she came back. I think that's actually not clear, so here's hoping, I guess. But I am pretty disappointed.
Oh,
When
wait.
Caitlin and Mark were about to try to resurrect Frost, I was skeptical, to say the least. For obvious reasons, I'd much rather she stayed dead, but the optimist in me, who somehow still hasn't had his spirit broken, was kinda hoping for like a pet cemetery sort of thing, and then Caitlin would have to come to grips with the fact that Frost is truly dead and nothing can be done about that. But that doesn't seem to be what they're doing, so something frustrating and permanent, something character deaths. Anyway, back back to Thawne. So
Bruh.
this is a thing they've actually been setting up since like the tail end of season 7. I didn't mention it in my season 7 video because it was such a last minute thing they included that I didn't even really know what to make of it. So in like the second to last episode, Iris started having this weird time sickness, and so Dion, the new god of time that they birthed last season, if you'll remember, takes her into the Still Force to figure out what's wrong with her. This is something they focus pretty heavily on this season, and we eventually find out it's because there exists negative versions of all the cosmic forces that were created last season, and it was the evil version of Dion that infected Iris. And this is because Barry basically killed the negative speed force when he took Thawne's speed away, and apparently Thawne was like the chosen avatar of the negative speed force in the same way Barry was with the positive one. Now, it's weird because Iris is—
Wait, there's a negative and a positive one? Wait, since when? Dude, they just be adding shit, I swear.
Been infected with this time sickness since the end of season 7, which would have been before Barry took away Thawne's speed, but I guess when we're dealing with cosmic forces who literally have dominion over time and space, it becomes somewhat moot to try to dissect the chronology of events. Although that's also sort of a big issue with these guys. They have dominion over all time and space, and yet they decide to enact their plan to wipe out their positive selves in the year 2022? Why? That's so arbitrary. Whatever, so evil Dion kills depowered Thawne, and the reason he does this is because there's another version of Eobard Thawne kicking around that's going to serve as the avatar for the revived negative speed force. Not a single word of that was in the Bible. Remember earlier when I was talking about that version of Thawne that was running around with the legends, ended up dying, and somehow found himself here in 2022 without his memories or speed? Yeah, so he's here now, and he's working at a lab with this scientist named Mina Dawin on a machine that will give him super speed.
And he comes up and
he knows chemistry because he's the son of Adolf Hitler.
Yes, I can build the hydrogen bomb.
I despise this.
He apparently retains subconscious memories of the machine he originally built to give himself powers, only when it's complete, it ends up being Mina who gets the speed, not him. But here's an interesting little tidbit. So it turns out that Thawne is only evil when he's powered by the negative speed force and is actively channeling his hate. The reason he doesn't have his speed right now is because he's not being fueled by his hatred for Barry, because he no longer remembers him. Which means that this entire time, the only reason Thawne has ever been a threat to anyone is because Barry lives in his head rent-free. And in fact, not only is this version of Eobard a pretty chill guy, but he's actually in love with Mina. And when she starts turning evil from her speed—
but see, that one isn't that bad though. Can you change it for me? Can you change it for me, because it won't let me change it. If you could change it to just chatting for me, if you can, if you don't mind, I'm not demanding it. Just I tried to. I noticed that. So just FYI.
He's the one who—
But nah, we already knew that though. Thawne, I thought he was already just a big hater like that anyways. Like even in the comics and the animated shows and movies. Like even though that's kind of stupid, that's accurate, ain't it? Right? Like I know they already fuck a lot of shit up in the show that he's talking about right now, but y'all feel me? I don't know.
Who pulls her back from it, which Mina. And when she starts turning evil from her speed, he's the one who pulls her back from it, which— that's pretty dumb, but I actually find this interesting. This is the most compelling Thawne has been as a character and as a concept since, like, season 2. So even though none of it really makes any sense, I'm kind of just rolling with it at this point. Just give me something substantive.
Hey, what's up? What's up, Vicky? How you doing? Welcome back. You said don't have the privileges. Okay, no, you good. I'm trying to remember how to do it, but I'm also trying to focus on this video. It's all good. Set. Oh, I remember now.
He does eventually get speed after using, you guessed it, the cure-all for any issue on this show. The power of love to share his power with Mina, and it's just in time for a final battle against the negative forces. Now, remember in my last video when I was talking about how cool it is to watch Barry and Thawne fight side by side? Yeah, well, they did it here without resorting to a dumb lightsaber battle, and it's pretty nice. Wait a minute, am I actually liking this? Well, too bad, he dies. Yeah, they did all of that just to kill him off. And
yeah, of course they did. See, that shit pisses me the fuck off, bro. Look, if you got this far in the video, watching this on YouTube, put a 5 in the comment section. Put a 5 in the comment section.
Not just that, they killed him so that the evil Reverse Flash could be reborn. And they do this weird moment where evil Thawne rips open good Thawne and, like,
Nigga, what?
emerges from him. Like, I'm saying all this like it's normal because for The Flash, I don't expect anything better. But I mean, this is an absurd thing to have happened, and I'm just completely desensitized. Wonderful. Anyway.
What? Like, I want to get mad, but I just don't think I can anymore. That's so... This is a joke. Like, this is a joke.
He's back! Introducing the
That's actually a joke. Like, is that for real? Is he playing, or did that actually happen? No. See,
improved Eobard Thawne.
Not
only does he have his speed back, but he is now the avatar.
Are old people writing the script? Like, what are y'all thinking that this is good? Like, what is this?
Of all the negative forces, making him a being of immense power. It's truly wonderful stuff.
God.
I can't wait to see how Barry takes him down.
This is so
goofy. Barry tries to fight.
This is so bad. Oh my goodness.
Fight him, but of course.
Is this really what he looks like?
He's no match for Thawne because he's literally being powered by 4 gods, but don't worry, we have just the way to balance the scales. Barry then surrenders himself as the avatar of all the positive forces, and it's a very I am all the Sith, I'm all the Jedi moment where these two fucking Super Saiyans go ham on each other. Until Barry
this is so... Oh my god, it's gonna piss me off. It's gonna piss me off. I don't want to react to this anymore. Why did they who wrote this shit, bruh?
They're so powerful that they're going to literally destroy everything. So instead of fighting, he sits down cross-legged and just lets Thawne continue his rampage.
This is so trash. I ain't gonna lie. I'm so glad this is almost over because it's starting to make me mad.
Thawne can't kill Barry while he's...
I'm glad I didn't watch this. I'm glad I watched it up to 4, maybe season 5. They got like what, 12 seasons now? I'm so glad I ain't finished. I am so glad I ain't try to watch the rest. I'm so glad. Because it's so stupid. Hey, how you doing, Crazy Barry? How you doing? Welcome back, boo. Said, hey. Yeah, welcome back, fam. We just reacting to a video for YouTube real quick. We almost done, though. I hope you're doing well. W streamed yesterday. Earlier today? Yesterday? I can't remember.
He's in a Zen state, so he calls upon the Force.
In a Zen state? Wait.
So instead of fighting, he sits down cross-legged and just lets Thawne continue his rampage. Thawne can't kill Barry while he's in a Zen state, so he calls upon the forces for more power and ends up overloading himself. This in turn reverses all the damage he just dealt on the city, and he ends up imploding out of existence. Supposedly for good this time. Yeah, I'll believe that when I
right, supposedly for good.
I can see it. I'm just...
Right, yeah, alright, nigga. He's definitely... Like that, it's like Frieza from Dragon Ball Z at this point. It's gonna piss me off. Well, you said thank you for pulling up. Oh yeah, thank you for streaming. I like joining your streams because it's like physical workouts and shit. I gotta do that. I be procrastinating, and so when I'm in your stream, I feel like I gotta do it. So yeah.
Supposedly for good this time.
Supposedly.
Yeah, I'll believe that when I fucking see it. I'm just so tired. I don't even feel like breaking any of that down. What is there to even say? This whole season was a mess, and I honestly only scratched the surface. And that, ladies and gents, is where we currently are with The Flash.
Oh shit.
Season 8 is a wrap, and it was certainly an experience. It definitely did happen. Now, and also...
Shit, it sounds like an experience. What the fuck? I'm glad I ain't watched that shit. I wouldn't have finished it or anything, but I'm just saying.
Serious?
Because I got invested in The Flash at one point.
Yes, no, this was...
I have to admit it. I know.
Absolutely not a return to form for this show. Not even close. I can see why some people liked it. It definitely isn't anywhere near as bad as season 7, but that literally doesn't mean anything. The fucking Rise of Skywalker is better than Flash season 7. No, I'm not kidding. Onto a more...
No, because season 7 was when they was using the damn lightsabers and shit, right? How you doing, Tori? Wait, how long you been in here already, right? But anyways, welcome in, Tori.
Hopeful note, my fingers are crossed that season 9 will be the last, and since literally every other Arrowverse show has been canceled except for Superman and Lois and Star...
Okay, oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. I'm fixing it. So season 9, so there's 8 seasons right now. I said like 12 seasons earlier. Okay. But still, y'all got my point regardless.
since literally every other Arrowverse show has been canceled except for Superman and Lois and Stargirl, which I don't really count as Arrowverse shows, I'm optimistic. I mean, it really feels like they set us up for a final season, but you never know with this show. For all we know, The Flash will go on to season fucking 15. Wouldn't that be a treat? But yeah, I hope you guys now see why Reverse Flash just isn't as cool as he used to be, and they need to stop bringing him back. The response to my season 7 video was pretty positive overall, but I actually received a lot of flack for daring to shit on him. He's the untouchable, cool character they latch onto because he reminds them of the better seasons. And that's all fine and good, but I can't exactly rely on him for a nostalgia kick if he's just as lame as the rest of the villains on the show these days. All that being said, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you
Hey, W video though. Hold up, we're gonna hear what he has to say real quick.
did, be sure to give it a thumbs down. If you didn't like it, then give it a thumbs down also. And if you're someone who's completely indifferent
what the fuck?
one way or another, be sure to hit that unsubscribe button if you haven't already, and report this video for sexual content and inappropriate language. Thank you all so much for watching. And
This nigga said reported for sexual content. Alright, bro. But no, for real. W video. See, I didn't know that The Flash was that fucking bad. Apparently there's gonna be another season after season 8. Bro, they need to just go ahead and stop making the fucking show. Nah, they need to go ahead and just stop making the fucking show. Gonna piss me the fuck off, bro. We need to find out who wrote this shit, and we need to go to their house, and we need to throw eggs at it and throw toilet paper at their house, and we need to fuck their shit up, bro. We jumping them. Anyways, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. If you enjoyed the video, consider like, comment, and subscribing is what I meant to say. And I'll see you in the next video.